Today's episode is going to be part 2, I guess, of my continuing tree saga of me trying to manually straighten this tree back up after it fell into the neighbor's yard. If you missed episode 1, here's a clip of how this downed tree got, well, partially stood up.
Oh my God.
And now the rest of the story is going to be me. I guess I'm going to call it my senior moments, because this is a kind of a strange project, but what the heck, I'm retired, I can play in my backyard. So back to the story. What I'm doing is I'm trying to tip this thing back up. This part of the video might fall under the topic of no adult supervision. No wonder that tree fell down. The roots are rotten. What I've been digging and chainsawing and trying to get it back to straight. I think I'm getting the space cleared pretty good to make it possible to tip it back up. When I first started in on this project, I had my doubts. I still don't know where it's going, but I am gaining ground because this tree was frozen like a rock, wouldn't move, and I am getting it to move. Now, can I get it tipped up the way I want it? We'll find out, but we are certainly gaining ground now. I think I've cleared enough roots and dirt out of my way to see if I can stand this thing up. My next move might truly fall into the don't try this at home, and maybe I need a disclaimer because people shouldn't do these things. I'm going to use this really old winch and a broken tow rope and a not too sturdy of a chain to see if I can tip this thing up. So let's do this. Oh gosh, the use of this chintzy old ladder and the way I used it probably doesn't fit into OSHA's guidelines. But instead of a hard hat, I've got a hard head. Okay, we've got our Bruce rigged winch set up to try to pull this tree this way. I wish I'd put him on camera. I just had my lumberjack friend stop by and advise me a little bit on this setup. Probably not advised, but he made the funny comment. He says, I've used worse. I've used worst, he said. So this is an old broken tow rope. And this is an extremely old winch that my dad had, and some sort of chain that I don't know where I ever got it from. But the fantasy is that I'm going to take that tree and tip it up straight. I think I did too good a job of clearing this out over here. So I cleared it out so good that the tree is now leaning that way. So what I now need to do is winch it that way and get some dirt under it. Don't fall on me. Might work. Oh, I got a long way to go. Long way to go. I think I'll throw some dirt under that and then re-rig. What I got now is I got to move it that way. What I've done, since it's pretty free, I filled in this side because I don't want it to come this way. That's what I first started correcting, and seems fairly plumb that way. But what I got to do is get it plumb this way. So I'm going to re-rig my come along over to that walnut stump. Hopefully I can get it to move to more of a plumb position, then it can be here for a while. It's a new day, and I'm still trying to figure out if I can straighten this tree up and get it plumb. I gave up late in the day yesterday because this old winch got all jammed up, so I got to figure out what's wrong with that. And what I need to figure out is how I can pull it this way, get it stood up, and get some dirt under that side in an effort to get this thing acceptable. Oh, there goes my geese. After looking this over a little more this morning, I think my next plan is because I need to get that baby straightened up. I think what I have to do now is I got to dig more out on this side in order for me to get it to tip straight, even if, or in order to get it straight. And my next move is I got to fix that winch that's jammed up. But right now I'm going to dig under there. Well, I might have fixed that jammed up come along, so let's find out if we can tip this tree now. From this angle, it looks pretty good, but I got to get it that way. And from this angle, it looks pretty good. And now, my mission, should I decide to accept it, Mr. Mission Impossible, is to get it more plumb that way with my rigged up come along. Let's see if I can get it there. Well, that worked out pretty good. It's holding its own for now, and it's pretty, I think, pretty plumb this direction. Not bad over here. So now what I think I need to do is pull it that way a little bit. A little bit that way, then start filling in dirt and try to stabilize it. Might be time to quit fooling with this and throw the dirt in there and let the cards fall where they fall. Because there's going to be some settling and it isn't going to be perfect. But boy, that tree is a lot straighter than it was. I think this is the point where it reminds me of my dad when he was teaching me how to do tape and texture. He had to keep reminding me to just quit fiddling with it. Just get it good, close enough, and move on. So I think this is going to have to be close enough and move on. I'm going to fill the hole in now and probably add some water to it, and hopefully it'll be my hope is that that tree will stay fairly upright. I think I got it fairly plumb, close enough, and we'll see if it stays stable enough to hang the hammock off of it. But my next move is to fill all this dirt in and soak it down in water, let it settle, and then do some more. We're close to the end of this project, but it isn't over till it's over. Well, my next move was there we go, was to water this down in my, it is February in South Dakota, and my hose was frozen. Now it finally kicked free. I was hoping the water would get out of there, or the ice would get out of my hose. My plan now is to fill dirt, water, wash it down in there, and then fill some more dirt. That's the plan. Conclude today's episode, or at least today's filming, because we're supposed to get high winds today and I feel them starting to come in, and that'll just be super annoying on the camera. But here's where I'm at this point. I'm filling it in with dirt and water. Soon gonna release the come along, and I'm feeling pretty good about my plan at this point. I understand that it's never over till it's over, and as Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, and in this case I've got a plan until my tree tips. We'll see if it stays straight. I've let this project sit for about 3 days, and I think it's time to take one last look at it and test it out. The dirt seems to have settled in pretty good. It's a lot colder than it was when I started this project. South Dakota weather, it was in the 60s when I started it, and today it might be 30 out here. But I'm getting impatient, and I just want to test this hammock thing out and see if it worked. If that tree stays where it is, I'll be satisfied with that. Now, I completely know that it'd been much easier just to cut the tree down and go get a great big post or something and put it in if I really wanted this hammock up. But why do things the easy way? I've known to do things the hard way, and this is one of those things. Let's put this hammock up and see if it holds me. I think it's actually better than it was before, because it got the tree straighter than it was when it was natural. Now I completely understand that when this ground thaws out, maybe this will move around. But so far it seems pretty good, and we're going to throw about 200 pounds into this hammock right now and see how it works. I think we're doing good. I think my hammock's back in place. Now we just got to make all this stuff green and growing and get some grandkids in here to swing in the hammock. I think this brings this project to a conclusion for now, and at this point I'm going to declare the standing the tree back up so that I can hang the hammock on it project a success.